What is this matter about?
It's regarding prolonged suspension, Lordship.
Oh,
Your Lordship, here we're saying that it's an abandonment of service
yes.
on the part of the petitioners, Lordship.
On payment with petitioner seeking accommodation on the ground of personal difficulty on the part of the conducting counsel. Matters adjourned. This is here for 2 weeks.
Obliged, Your Lordship.
Lordship, I pray a similar prayer for item 7 as well.
I'll be left with nothing to do. This is that.
My lord, that 17,000 remaining, my lord, the bill, the penalty bill.
Yes, that.
And the Dorbashnong has outlet, my lord, yes.
Electricity matter.
Domestic line, they have given it as a commercial to the shops which they have outlet.
Yes, I think last time.
I have already filed my affidavit, my lord, because Lordship
Apart
has,
from that, you see, that's beside the point.
regarding instruction, my lord, at this point of time, they are quite apprehensive, my lord, from a corporation, but I have been pursuing them.
If there
so
is
they are
some,
having a second
like
thought.
I say, some discretionary powers to be exercised.
My lord.
In special cases of this kind, all those things. Maybe if the other side agree, the penalty can be reduced, if not waived.
My lord.
Those things can be, so that you see what the idea is, the matter to end on a good note.
Because they are still our consumer and they're ready to convert to commercial also.
I think apparently they are at fault.
My lord, yes,
But then
and they have
what
admitted
they are saying also, maybe they are pleading ignorance.
My lord, they have.
So that can be looked into.
My lord, I'll try again. I'll try to speak to them if they can be any kind of a settlement or something, or there can be some understanding among the parties.
Yes, sometimes what we do, we also sometimes we face these kind of areas.
My lord.
Where a huge amount is required to be paid.
My lord.
We talk to the official and we pay an installment.
My lord, that can be also one thing which I can speak to them, rather than having cases pending for quite long.
Rather than having this case on record, you talk it over.
My lord, yes, that can be one thing which I can.
First, we explore the area of a concession or discretionary powers to be exercised. If that does not work, then
my lord, if these kind of cases were allowed to be taken at the local Adalat, then it could have been done, but then it doesn't fall under the purview. So we will make our point to meet with them.
We've had several local which could have been referred to local.
My lord, after the hearing was conducted, one of the occasion affidavits were filed, and those, because the question of procedure was followed or not, that was on the last.
That is only an issue of notice.
Now, had this matter come, I believe it could have been sorted out. But nevertheless, my lord, we will try to speak to the department and let the party also can have a talk. I'll make a point, my lord.
Yes, the corporation try to. Otherwise, if it comes to be, if the matter has to be disposed of on merits, then the law has to be looked into.
My lord, yes.
On payment by the petitioner, this is matter to 2 weeks.
Obliged, Lordship.
May it please, Your Lordship. Lordship, I beg to make a mention of item number 8, Your Lordship.
What?
I pray this matter may be listed after 3 weeks, Your Lordship.
What?
Need some more time to prepare this matter, Your Lordship.
What is there to prepare? What is there to prepare? Tell me. I have read this file only once, but I still recall the issue involved here is only on the issue of limitation.
Last opportunity may be given, Your Lordship.
Limitation is the issue which is very clear. Whether it applies or not, simple as that.
Last chance, Your Lordship.
You have a respondent.
Yes, Your Lordship.
Lordship, for the petitioner.
You have a petitioner.
Yes, Your Lordship. Your Lordship, my senior actually is ready today to take up the matter.
They are not. What do you do?
Yes, Your Lordship.
On payment by the respondent, not objected to by petitioner. This matter up to 2 weeks.
Obliged, Lordship.
Kindly oblige, Your Lordship.
Please, Lordship. Lordship, I beg to make a mention of item number 3, Lordship.
Lordship, I'm appearing on behalf of respondent for your Lordship, as the conducting counsel, Mr. P. Nongbury, has some personal difficulty, Lordship.
Nothing is left, miss.
My Lord, I have seen the pleading of the respondent. He has taken a similar plea. In the earlier occasion, Lordship disposed of one petition regarding Langrin matter, suspension of a chief. There he has taken the plea that before complaint is submitted to district council, complainant has to submit before the Darbar-Hima. That was a plea taken, and Lordship has adjudicated that one and dismissed the writ petition. Appeal is pending, carry forward the similar plea. So I came across, because of the similar plea taken, my Lord, my humble prayer may be, my Lord, matter may be taken up, this writ petition may be taken up after 3 weeks. So the writ appeal is coming after 2 weeks.
Okay.
Yes.
Also, the issue involved here
Yes.
is also the subject matter.
Yes,
It's not
in the writ
exactly the
yes.
same before the division bench.
Division bench. One of the important limb of argument. Lordship decided.
You have preferred the appeal.
With the other side, he has preferred the appeal. She has preferred the appeal. Her party has preferred the appeal.
Okay.
Yes.
The suspended same.
The suspended same has preferred the appeal. So I may pray, my Lord, matter may be taken up after
In
3
fact,
or 4
this,
weeks.
matter, as indicated earlier, Your Lordship, has become infructuous. But because what he wanted is that his removal. Now, either rightly or wrongly, he is already out of office,
Suspension.
suspended. And in fact, there's nothing survived. Nothing survived.
It is, my Lord, it is. He is not. He is still in office under suspension only.
Wait. Still, you want him to be removed from office. He has been removed.
It is, my Lord.
By
It
hook
is
or
not.
by crook, he has been removed.
It is not yet removed.
What else?
He is placed under suspension only.
Nothing survived.
So he is not yet removed from the.
Not yet removed.
He is not yet removed. That is why only.
This is
So I only pray.
Hima.
Langrin, Hima
Hima Langrin.
Langrin.
Okay.
It will be some sort
The
of
present CM.
Present CM. Now the acting CM is there.
The earlier case where this court has dealt with.
Was a writ petition filed by the suspended chief.
Yes.
He challenged the suspension order. So Lordship has upheld the suspension order
That
passed
is-
by the district council.
That is only on whether the matter was dealt with on merits or only on the
On merits.
issue of interim.
On merits.
On
On
merits?
merits. Yeah,
then
on
nothing
merits.
survived then.
On merit. No. No, it is survived. Now what happened earlier, this writ petition we filed first.
Yes, I understand.
Ah.
I recall.
During the pendency, he was facing a complaint again, and district council placed him under suspension. Now his suspension order he challenged, suspended chief challenged before my lord. And in that second writ petition he filed, he has taken the plea that district council has no power to suspend me because under the rules,
It was
complaint
it
should
is
be
the-
placed before the Darbar-Hima.
Darbar-Hima, yes. I think I recall.
Lordship adjudicate that matter. No, it is not the power to this district council to pass an order. So being aggrieved with that, he has filed an appeal. And that argument is still pursued before the division bench. Now in this case also, in my case
So
also,
if, I mean, okay, let's put it this way. If he succeeds before the division bench and
he'll
his
come back to
suspension
office.
is revoked
Yes,
or set aside,
yes,
then he becomes the same.
exactly.
In that case, this
Exactly.
issue will be will
Exactly.
remain alive.
Right. That is why. If he is removed from the post, then nothing may survive. But it is only a suspension only. It's only a suspension. Pending inquiry. Inquiry is going on. So I may pray for after 2 or 3 weeks or 4 weeks, my lord. Division bench matter may come up.
But you see, that is one. What Mr. Kanta said is also correct. See, the circumstances as it stands today is such that this matter has preceded the earlier situation,
Yes.
or the present situation rather.
Yes.
So it would become infructuous in any, from any angle that you look at it.
Now, Lordship has pointed out, suppose if he succeeds before division bench, he will come back to office as a chief. And now,
think we have
if
to
I
find
withdraw my writ petition now, then and he succeeds before division bench, he'll become a chief again.
Then liberty
And
to file a
then
fresh-
I need.
Yeah, yes, you are at liberty to file a fresh.
Yes,
That is why, my lord, therefore, instead of troubling my lord to file a separated petition, allowing other party to file a pleading again, my lord, since the exercise is finished, my lord, end of justice may be met if the matter takes up after 2 weeks or 3 weeks. The division bench may take a decision very expeditiously.
I think extending.
Otherwise, re-exercising the entire thing again may not be called for.
Because again, this is a 2020 matter.
Yes, yes.
So now we are 4 years running.
Right. Therefore, if I withdraw now, and in the event I file a fresh petition again, then another time will be taken again.
But
Therefore,
liberty will be granted for you.
but
You
liberty
have no objection to that.
liberty is not the problem here, my lord. Here the ends of justice, my lord.
It's a confusing situation. This is pending, then another one which is
It is not.
in a different footing pending.
Learned special counsel is not aware of the first the case where lordship passes the order.
Why not?
The issue is still pending there,
Why not?
and it is not removal. That is a wrong submission. It's a place under suspension. That means it's not allowing to sit in the chair because the
Then
chair
in
is
that
subject
case,
to inquiry
It's going to
only.
be heard right away. Why are
I'm
you
not
asking
saying-
for time?
I'm
That
not-
because of that is pending. That's why this should be pending.
I'm not asking for time. It is my duty to
Let it be
apprise.
heard.
I can
We are ready to.
I can point out the bleeding also. I can point out the bleeding where he has taken a specific stand that complaint should be filed against me before the Darbar, not chief.
Here, in this case.
Here also, my lord. That is why. The same issue. In that case, lordship, since apply your lordship mind, his plea would be rejected again by this court again. So for the ends of justice, my friend also seeking time. After 2 or 3 weeks, my lord.
I think
What is the urgency on the part of this case?
now how many adjournments have been sought?
We are not the one, my lord. If lordship see the history of adjournment, I learned it's special counsel and the other side saw the
You're
adjournment.
taking the
Number of
words
times.
out of my mouth. I've never sought adjournment, even once.
Lordship kindly see the
If
order
that is
sheets.
correct,
Let
I've
us,
never sought
let us
adjournment,
not go
you pay
into that.
costs.
Let us not go into that.
Let-
you pay costs.
Those are ancillary issues.
Lordship may see the order sheets.
Why should I ask adjournment?
Earlier, Lordship may see number of adjournments sought by the respondents, not by petitioner.
Not district council.
Lordship, order will speak for itself.
Yes, I've never sought adjournment.
That's for the two of you to go to the
That's why I
records
put words in our mouth.
deal it among yourselves.
We wanted
You are
this.
appearing for?
Respondent for your lordship.
Respondent
He's a
CM.
suspended chief.
Oh,
She's a suspended
one
chief.
for.
Yes, lordship.
So next time we'll see. Let's try to.
My lord.
Miss the counsel for the respondent number 4 has sought for accommodation on grounds of personal difficulty of the learned conducting counsel. On premier, this seems allowed. This is matter of the 3 weeks. 3 weeks, then?
Yes. Highly appreciate.
No, sir.
Good day, Your Lordship.
Daily list item number 1.
Yes, Lordship. Senior counsel is on legacy, Lordship.
We don't have any matter at all.
Lordship.
There's no issue of question of passing over. Yeah, there. You start. At least go through the facts. Let your senior come and state the law.
Lordship, I'm not in a position, Your Lordship. Senior counsel is be in a better position to us.
Why not? You have the file with you. Yes, Mister, you are a lawyer.
Your Lordship.
How many years have you practiced?
Lordship. 2 years, Lordship.
2 years. Good enough.
Lordship,
Please go through the facts.
Lordship, actually, this assisting counsel also is not here, not disposed, Lordship. So, I'm not the assisting counsel, Lordship, in this matter.
Let him come. See, I'm not saying that I will not allow them.
Lordship.
Let them come. Since they are in other courts, you will respect that. But as far as the matter is concerned, you are there. You are appearing on behalf of the petitioner. You should be aware of the facts.
Lordship.
You should know what is the case about. In fact, just going through the petition will be good enough for you.
Your Lordship. You have to be fully prepared, Your Lordship.
You should do what schoolboys do. If they don't know anything, they just read through question paper and they note down the question paper, and you will still get 1 or 2 marks.
apologize, Lordship.
This will not do.
Lordship may fix it tomorrow, Lordship, or day after tomorrow.
Yes, Mr. Karolang, what's the matter, Bob?
Lordship, this is regarding the
Lease,
lease land in
lease.
short round forest area, Lordship. That was lease has been completed and government is planning.
What are the facts of this case?
Lordship, so these are lands which are located over there in near Polo Ground, Lordship, and these lands were on lease. And as on a few years back, the lease was terminated, as in like they were completed, and the government had
Lease was not renewed? Or
was not
terminated?
renewed.
Not renewed.
Yes,
So
Lord.
at the end of the lease period, it was not renewed.
Yes,
It was
Lord.
not a case of termination.
It wasn't
in
of
the course
termination. No, it was not renewal of the lease deed.
What does the law say? Is there, is there any provision for extension, or is there any reason to be given why it is not renewed?
Lordship, because law says that because right now the government wants to take back that land, and also because it is
What are-
forest
it's
area.
simple as
And
that. You just show me the law. If there's the law which says that yes, see, the power lies with you to not to renew the lease. Or because the only issue here is the court is to look into the aspect of arbitrariness or illegal action on the part of the authorities.
Lordship.
If you can establish that there is no issue of arbitrariness or illegality, then and the rules, as you have rightly said, if the rules have been followed,
Lordship, for the basically this land is government land, and it
government
is for priority of the government to renew or not renew the land.
so priority of the government, no doubt.
Lordship.
But is that discretionary power solely exclusive, or are there reasons to be stated?
There are also reasons, Lordship. That being, this area is a forest area, Lordship, and
Where's the impure order?
if I can take your Lordship to paragraph 2 of page 4 of my counter, Lordship. May I read, Lordship?
Yes.
That in reply to paragraph 2 is submitted that the petitioner is misleading on court through this instant petition, whereby it is submitted that the petitioner's right over the said plot of land do not exist, and whatever rights the petitioner's father had over the said land has expired in the year 1988, Lordship. It first submitted that the father of the petitioner died in 1999 after the expiry of the lease agreement, and no right whatsoever has transpired to the petitioner after the father's death. Furthermore, the father of the petitioner during his lifetime did not transfer the rights of the lease agreement of the said plot to the petitioner according to Rule 13 of the lease agreement, thus making the petitioner herein is a mere illegal occupant of the said land, a said plot of land which is a reserve forest, and is using the said land for his own benefits. As Lordship, even the petitioner is not having any rights over this land, Lordship. Was the lease was given to the father who had transpired in 1999, Lordship. So right now is for the petitioner to prove what right he has over that land. Now, without proving such rights, Lordship, how can he operate that land? How can he claim rights over that land, Lordship?
That is why, see, the query of the court would be, how was the petitioner bestowed with the rights on the basis of the lease, whether that right is perpetual or periodical.
No, Lordship. May I? Lordship, I can take your Lordship to paragraph 13 of page 14 of the petition, Lordship, of the Pata. The Pata of the Lordship is a Pata was given to Shri Jamaluddin Ahmed, my Lordship.
Mr. Paul, your colleague is hanging on. He is hanging on to dear life.
Well, sometimes it's important that they hang on to dear life.
He's all at sea. Sorry to say.
This is how they learn. Unless you fall into the water, you don't learn how to swim.
I've given him all the incentives. Still.
Start, continue, I'm here.
Yeah, so your senior has come. You can start now.
Lordship, may I take Lordship to page 25, Lordship, the impugn order. Lordship.
Page
25, Lordship. May I read, Lordship?
Yes, please.
Lordship, to Hazur Nur Alam Khan, plot number 2, Forest Colony. Subject resumption of forest land allotted on lease to a private person. You are hereby informed that lease pertaining to this plot of land was granted to Jamaluddin Ahmed by government order so and so dated 24th 08/1950, and the lease was extended by government order notification dated so and so 1997. The aforesaid lease thus expired on this 31st December 1988. Two consecutive notices were issued in this regard by the Divisional Forest White number so and so dated 29 July 1987, dated and number so and so dated 26 May 1988 respectively, call upon the then leaseholder to vacate the premises since the government wanted to resume the said plot. However, the notices were ignored by the lessee. It is learned that we have remained in illegal occupations on this plot of land till date, which was initially leased by the state government to Shri Jamaluddin Ahmed, whose lease has expired long earlier as aforesaid, without any authority approval from the state government. You therefore required to vacate the premises plot within 1 month from today without fail, after which the government will resume the said plot of land.
So what did you do after receipt of this notice?
Lordship, in this other connected matter, Lordship, which is similar to this, Lordship, in this item 2, with regard to this same issue, Lordship, we have filed a representation, Lordship, which is in an
could be same, could be similar, but as far as this individual case is concerned, what have you done?
Lordship, our prayer here is, Lordship, the government, Lordship, without issuing any notice, any show cause notice, Lordship, without any hearing us, Lordship, they issued this letter to vacate the premises, Lordship.
That as your only ground.
Your Lordship.
Where is your response? Where is your letter? Where is the letter which says that you have written to the
Your
government?
Lordship, in this item 1, Your Lordship, we have not enclosed any this letter, Your Lordship, which is written to the department, Your Lordship.
Yes, please continue.
The petitioner herein, Your Lordship, is the the grandson of this lessee, Lordship. This holder. And then, Lordship, what here is that we have stayed in the premises, Lordship, since 19. If I take Lordship to the deed of declaration. Lordship, if I take Lordship to page 13, Your Lordship. Annex 1, Your Lordship.
Yes.
Whereas I, Jamaluddin Ahmed Shillong, hereinafter call as the lessee, which time unless there is something repugnant in the subject or context shall include his heir representative.
Where's a clear copy of this?
Lordship, type copy is Lordship. There is no type copy, Lordship.
Next clear. It's just very difficult.
Lordship will provide you, Lordship.
Oh.
Type copy.
Any excuse to get out. Usually they do that. I can read, but my eyes are not so good. See, documents of this kind, lectures of this sort, should always be you file one in the original and a clear copy. Even of course, this I don't know how it was typed. But then spacing is also not so, proper.
Anyway, we can provide you, Lordship.
No, you go ahead. I'll oblige you and manage.
Okay, Lordship. Where am I, Jamaluddin Ahmed Shillong, hereinafter call as a lessee, which term, unless there is something repugnant in his subject or context, shall include his heirs, representative, and permitted assign. Being a native of domicile in the province, has applied for permission to occupy for the purpose of building residence the land specified in the schedule written where as his application has been sanctioned. Now therefore durable and transferable right are hereby granted to the lessee over the said land for the period of 19 years commencing from the first day of January 1951 to the 31st day of December 1969 at the annual rent of 9 rupees 9 and as 3 only, and on that subject to the following terms and condition. One, that the lessee shall pay the annual rent in one installment, and the second day on January year by year, and pay portion thereof not paid on the due dated may be recovered by the Deputy Commissioner, Khasi Hills and Jaintia Hills as areas of the land revenue at the request of the Divisional Forest Officer, Khasi and Jaintia Hills. Number 2, that the lessee shall pay all rates, taxes, and assessment imposed or assessed under any law to the for the time being enforced upon the land or the building thereon, and shall comply with the carry out of municipal requirement to the drain, sewage, and sanitary arrangements of the premises, and keep the same in good repair and proper and sanitary condition. That in a period not exceeding 2 years from the commencement of the executions of this lease, and lessee shall complete the building on the land of this house with all necessary outhouses and appurtenances for the purpose of his residence. That the said houses, outhouses, and appurtenances shall be constructed in accordance with plans and specification to be approved in writing by the Divisional Forest Officer, Khasi and Jaintia Hills. That should the building or any part thereof be destroyed by earthquake, first tempest, or any other act of God, or by any cause whatsoever, or be so injured thereby as to render the building thereon shall be allowed to relinquish the land without penalty, provided he shall not be entitled to the compensation allowed under clause 10 herein below. That the lessee shall keep all buildings in good and proper repair, and shall not make any alteration in or addition to the said building without the previous consent of the Divisional Forest Officer of the Khasi and Jaintia Hills in writing, and is probable in writing of the plans and specification thereof. Number 7, that the lessee shall in no way diminish or injure or make any permanent alteration in the land without the written consent of the Divisional Forest Officer. That the lessee shall demarcate the fence and fence the land lease, and keep intact and well defined the boundaries thereof, and shall point out the said boundaries when required to do so by Divisional Forest Officer, Khasi and Jaintia Hills, to any officer or person authorized by him to inspect them. That the lessee may enjoy the fruits of the trees standing on the land but without the previous consent of a Divisional Forest Officer, Khasi and Jaintia Hills, shall not cut down or in any injure the tree which has been planted by the lessee, and that any tree not planted by the lessee which may fall or be cut down shall be at disposals of the provincial government. That should be the land lease the land lease or any portion thereof be at any time required for the purpose declared by the government to be public purpose, Divisional Forest Officer or any person authorized by him in that behalf may give the lessee 3 calendar month notice in writing thereof, and expiry of such periods this lease and tenancy thereby granted shall determine, but without prejudice to any remedy or right action that may occur to the government in respects of any breach of any condition herein contained, either as the whole of such person as an opposite the case may be. Divisional Officers Khasi and Jaintia Hills may enter upon the said land of such person and resume the possession thereof free for encumbrances created thereon, and all building direction thereon to the absolute exclusions of the lessee. Next, that the lessee shall thereupon part only of the said land be resumed be entitled to the deduction in the rent payable under this lease proportionate to the area taken by the government, provided that if on account of the resumptions of the government of any portion of land lease the lessee find it convenient to remain in possession of the examining portion thereof, the whole of the land or building shall if the lessee so desire be resumed. The lessee shall be entitled in any case to compensation for standing crops and for house created, trees planted, or other improvement made within the written consent of Divisional Forest Officer Khasi and Jaintia Hills on the land resumed. The amount of such compensation shall be fixed by the Divisional Forest Officer Khasi and Jaintia Hills, and the decision of the Divisional Forest Officer Khasi and Jaintia Hills, subject to an appeal to the Conservator of Forests and Provincial Government, shall be final and conclusive. The lessee will have no claim whatsoever to the compensation for land except the cost of leveling, improving, and laying out the garden and the price of fruit trees. Point 11, that the lessee shall not subject mortgage or otherwise transfer the holding for any person, therefore, without obtaining the previous sanctions of the provisional government and officer to be nominated by the government for that purpose. That the lessee shall not, without the previous consents of the writing of the divisional forest officer and gentiles, carry out or permit to be carried out any trade or business on the land, lease, or permit the building erected to be used or occupied in any other manner than a private dwelling house. That when any change in ownership position occur by succession or by transfer to the government servant, a person becoming entitled to such succession or transfer shall, in 2 months from the date thereof, give notice in writing to the divisional forest officer, Khasi, in case of such succession or transfer. In the event of breach or non-observance of the provision of clause 3, 7, 11, and 12 in addition to or in lie or of any other remedy to which the government may entitle, provisional government shall have the right to re-enter and take possession of the land lease free from encumbrances created thereon after issue of the 3 calendar month. Notice in writing, and thereupon the interest of the lessee shall absolutely cease and determine, and the provisional government shall have the right paying to the lease such actual value of such building and improvement of the land and the fruit standing thereon, as will be determined by a divisional forest officer, Khasi and gentiles, and the same divisional officer, Khasi and gentiles, subject to the appeal of the conservator of the forest and provincial government, shall be final and conclusive. The lessee shall have no right to compensate the land except the cost of leveling, improving out gardens and fruit trees. In the case of building not taken over as above, the lessee shall have the option of dismantling the same and removing the materials thereof within the period of 2 months, such as times as divisional forest officer, Khasi, and gentiles may allow, to the of determinations of the lessee. In case the owner of the house desire to have rents in lieu compensations, and intimate the divisional forest officer to do so within 30 days from the date of resumption. The divisional forest officer may let out the land and house of such persons as consider desirable addressable rent to be determined by the divisional forest officer, and the rent shall be payable to the owner of the house from whom the house has been resumed, after deducting the cost of repairs and collection charge, if there be any. The right of the government is reserved all the quarries and mines and minerals, oils, and all the buried treasures lying in under the said land, which full liberty at all times to search for and work the same, paying the lease his heirs representative, and permitted to assign only such compensation for any damage done to the surface of the said land as to be estimated to divisional forest officer, Khasi, and gentiles, and the decisions of divisional forest is subject to the appeal to the conservator of the forest, and the provincial government shall be final and conclusive. Any notice to be given to the lessee shall be deemed sufficient service if sent to him by registered post, addressed to him at last known place about or left or him upon the said premises. That on expiry of the lease shall have the first officer of renewal thereof, and such term and condition as the government may prescribe for the time being, and that if such officer is not accepted in the time as may be prescribed, then the interest of the lessee, interest of any holding truth under the lease as in mortgage otherwise, shall be absolutely seized and determined. Then in any such case, the government shall have the right to resume the land and take over all any of the buildings standing thereon, paying to the lessee the actual value of such building, the value being determined by the divisional forest officer and gentiles, subject to an appeal to provincial government. In the case of building not taken over as above, the lessee shall have the option of dismantling the same and removing the material thereof within the reasonable time to be fixed by divisional forest officer. Should any questions arise touching or concerning the lessees, or any convenient clause or matter therein containing the dealt with the same, shall be referred to the divisional forest officer, Khasi, and gentiles, and his option and decision thereon, subject to the appeal to the conservator of forest and provincial government, and in the event of an appeal being preferred to the final opinion and decisions of the said appeal authority, shall be final and conclusive on the parties to the lease. Lordship, I apologize, Your Lordship, that I will not prepared with this matter, Your Lordship. Your Lordship, I pray that Your Lordship may come with.
You see, only by reading the lease, you can know,
Yes,
see,
Your
you
Lordship,
can
Your
understand the
Lordship,
subject matter.
Your Lordship,
What is required to be done, what has been done, what has not been done.
on the next date I'll come prepared, Your Lordship. I pray that Your Lordship may have. If Your Lordship,
Mr. Karolang, you also come prepared.
Lordship.
Yes, Your Honor, you are also not prepared. You have not been able to assist the court.
Lordship.
Please, next day.
What's in terms of the lease?
You read the lease.
Yes, Lordship.
There are certain conditions which are stipulated therein.
Lordship.
Which
Mainly is
ought to have been carried out, or by the government or the lessee.
Lordship.
So you have to see.
Clause 17 clearly states that. Lordship, next day.
Clause 17, the issue of notice, and whether this maintainability of this writ has to be questioned.
Lordship.
The first option is to go before the divisional forest officer, or to come before the court.
Lordship. Lordship, that's what alternative remedies are there, to go to the DFO or appeal before the.
Yes. You explore on that. See why you have come directly here.
Lordship.
And also, as per 17, Lordship, the first renewal has been given, so there's no option of second renewal, Lordship. And I'll also come better prepared next time, Lordship.
But Mr. Letter Counsel with the petitioner, the hearing not being conclusive today, the matter will be. The further hearing will commence on the next date fix. As prayed for, this is matter up to 2 weeks.
Lordship. Highly obliged, Lordship.
Item 2.
Lordship, 1 and 2 are similar, Lordship.
Same order. Item 2, sir, please.
Highly obliged.